Yes, perfect. Should I take the mic or do you guys hear me? Nice. So my name is Reetta Heiskanen and I'm working at the moment at a company or program called Mehackit, which is building technology education for high schoolers in the Nordics. And I think we should start with something really fun that you haven't done today, which is learning Finnish, the most easy language of them all in the whole humankind and history. So please repeat after me. Hyvää päivää. Yeah, that was good.
What does it mean?
Sorry?
What does it mean?
Good day, sorry. I thought you knew that. Okay, let's try something else. This is also a very simple word. It's one of the shortest in the Finnish language. Lentokone, suihku, turbiini, moottori, apumekaanikko, aliupseerioppilas. Okay, not quite there, but good effort. This means a position in the army, of course. So, in order for you to understand why I'm standing here today, I think we should go through my story really quickly. As a journalist, I really love stories, so I guess apparently this is the one how I became a stubborn Finnish asshole, but it's always a good one. When I was 18 years old, which was about 6 years ago, I went to an art school, which was based in Helsinki, and it was really great. Like, I had played the piano for 10 years, I loved to sing, and I absolutely loved to write. And I had decided as a 15-year-old that, okay, I'm going to decide that I'm going to become a journalist. So a normal day in my high school would start with 2 hours of poem writing, and then we would read those poems out loud, which was really a lot of fun. However, then I started thinking that what the hell am I gonna really be when I grow up? Like, I still didn't want to be a poetry person or write poems for the rest of my life. So I applied to the University of Helsinki to study political history. I thought it's really good to be a common knowledge person and know everything about the wars and the million presidents that Finland has had. We had like one president for 30 years in a row called Urho Kekkonen. And then I was studying political history for 3 years. And it was my time to write my bachelor's thesis. And my bachelor's thesis was about the oil crisis in the 70s, of course, and how it affected the Finnish economy. Don't get me wrong, it's a really, really interesting issue, and it's really current today as well. But I just sat down one day and I realized it can't be all there is to it. Like, what the hell is happening in the world otherwise? So by that time, I had interned at the biggest newspaper in Finland, which is called Helsingin Sanomat, and I really enjoyed writing. Like, I felt like this is my thing. But then, by luck, I ended up getting involved with a really great Finnish thing called Slush. Slush is the biggest startup conference in Northern Europe, and it has become that within the last 3 years. It has grown enormously, and I like to think that it's the best thing that has happened for the Finnish economy within the last 6 years after the financial crisis. Because at the moment Finland is facing a really difficult economic situation. It is not as easy as with Sweden, Norway, Denmark, where things are really growing. There are problems with the Finnish structure, and the current government hasn't really been able to put out those reforms that are really in need at the moment, if to say that nicely. But then I got involved with Slush, and we held 2 really amazing conferences in 2013 and 2014. And I was working in the communications team, so I got to interview all those amazing startups, all the investors, find those stories behind it. And one day, for example, I called to Aydin Senkut in San Francisco, who is an angel investor for Felicis Ventures. And then I asked Aydin, what did he get out of the conference, Slush? And he told me that, in 2010 I came to Helsinki and then I walked around and I kind of bumped into Guy Head, which is the chairman of Rovio. And then at the conference, they decided of an investment of millions of dollars, and that is what Aydin Senkut got out of the conference, which is quite an inspiring story, that you meet people, you make amazing things together. And this leads me to this day. And now I'm working at Mehackit, which is probably the best thing that has happened for Finland in many, many years, if you can put it like that. So what is it that we really do? We help to build technology education in the Nordics. Because we don't really think that one single skill will solve everything. No, but there has to be the possibility for these kids to also learn about technology and feel creative about it, feel confident about it, feel really curious about it. And if I think about myself as an 18-year-old, I would have loved to have the possibility to actually decide for myself if this is something that I like. This is by our founder of Mehackit called Reetta Kekäläinen, and I think it's quite spot on. The future is not ready, these kids need to make it. Because these 15-year-olds, they use digitality 24/7. They really know how to consume it, they are surrounded by it. But what is the goal that we're really facing? I think we're all a bit baffled, like what is going on with it right now? So how do we do it? I bet all these children, they're really curious, but how can we get to that goal that it actually means something? We do this by really easy workshops, and we have held so far 10 plus of those within the last 2 years. And at those workshops, we teach them fun stuff. Here we can see a really easy task going on. So the kid is actually building an external keyboard. And this is one of my favorite tasks because then you can notice that it's not magic what's going on in there. So you can actually notice that electricity conducting materials can be a banana, it can be an orange, it can be an apple, and it can be part of the circuit. It doesn't have to be a laptop that is full of something that you don't understand. It can be a banana. So they are playing the piano using the bananas as their help. And here we can see two girls looking at a teddy bear. And they're actually doing toy hacking. This is what we call it. So they take the eyes out of the teddy bear and they put LED lights in. So they can put the lights winking. And they can understand that all the objects around them, they can resume them, they can reuse them, they can make it to something else, build something new from it. And we also at the workshops, we use Lego Masterminds, which are freaking expensive, but it's really cool that we get them from a partner that is helping us to use them. And of course, one of the most important things, 3D printing, that the kids always find really amazing when it goes through and it actually builds something new. However, within the last year, we have noticed that these workshops, they are really great for these children. But funnily enough, like all those kids who come there, they are the children of technology parents, of engineers, parents that have decided before the baby was born that, okay, you're going to be an astronaut or you're going to be the next Steve Jobs. which is quite terrible for the poor kid if he doesn't like it, but they bring their kids to the workshops to actually learn this. So we are facing a problem, how to get those people that are not involved in it already to get excited. And this is really common within high schoolers. It shouldn't be based on their socioeconomic background, it should be something for everyone. And that gives the possibility for them to grow to it as well, if they want. So we have started doing high school courses. And we have a pilot going on in Helsinki at the moment, which has lasted for 2 months. And it's in one school in Helsinki, and it has gotten a lot of good feedback. This is an example of a practice that we do. And it is by a high school girl called Amy. And she has hand-drawn those little creatures and then actually built a game out of it. So that's what she found really interesting, because she realized that I can actually use my both artistic skills and then building it into something technological. Why do we do it? My favorite topic. We all notice that the world is moving so fast, but the education is lacking behind. As you heard from Patrick and Jonas as well, that we have a really good education system in Finland, and we highly respect our teachers. We have really good teachers, but still, how could a teacher understand everything that is happening? So we have also started to help out them. So in 2 weeks we'll have our first teacher after work, where they can come to the after work and do these same tasks as the kids do. Because I can just imagine that a teacher that is standing in front of the class and thinking, I really don't know how to answer her or his question. It's a terrible situation. But how would you know, because you've grown into a such different world than that kid? So what we really need to do is find role models that make the kids excited and find stories behind it, and actually make a vision of it, like where should we go next, and what is it that makes these kids want to build something, and give the kids the possibility to dream their way also through technology. And as I explained, my background is in journalism, and I have to say, when I was 19 years old, an internship at my first newspaper, which was, by the way, Helsingin Sanomat, and that video clip Jonas showed was from that company. Really great. I really thought that journalism and technology are two different things. But as I really started to realizing, it is absolutely amazing that there is a possibility to save this struggling field through it, that they go hand in hand. And this is also something that I didn't understand in high school when I dreamt of being a journalist. So I was working for 8 months covering politics and economics. And also during that time, it's moving really fast. And I feel like we have the possibility to combine these things even more. And I hope Helen will talk more about data journalism. But we have now partnered with Samsung for the next 3 years, which is really great because they are basically making this possible. I guess they have a feeling of corporate responsibility that they should do something good. And we have other partners as well. So what is really next for us? What's the next step? We have a lot of events coming up this year, and we are looking to bringing this to all the countries in the Nordics. Mostly people have been really excited in Sweden about it, and we are going there first time this spring, and then looking to expand it next fall as well. And of course, Norway, Denmark, Iceland. We are all facing the same situation right now. And I'm going to show you a video, if I get there. Nah, it doesn't work. I'll show it to you guys later, maybe. But let's hop to the next slide. So what I'm trying to say with this is that education is what people do to you, but learning is what you do to yourself. And this program is something that gives these kids the opportunity to come and do themselves and find out if they like it or not. Because currently the technology education is facing the problem in Finland that you don't have really anything coming up. So that was all I had for you guys planned. Thank you, and if you have any questions, just shoot me.